All right, so crawling workout. We're going to start off on the ground on our hands and knees. I'm going to have a small reach forward with my hand, a small step forward with the opposite knee. Now when I'm crawling here forward and backward, I'm taking very small steps. I don't want to overextend as I reach, because that'll mess up my tempo, my placement. Rather, we want to keep those hands and knees pretty much underneath the shoulder and hips and taking very small steps. Now, if this is new to you, keep practicing on the hands and knees. If this feels comfortable, then we're going to progress on to tucking the toes under and hovering the knees above the ground. Here we'll go into a crawling march, just practicing that stability as I reach the opposite limbs up in unison. If that feels strong and good, then practice crawling forward, opposite limbs moving together. Again, we're taking very small steps. This may be confusing at first. Just take your time and go back to the progressions on the hands and knees if needed. All right, next we're going to go into a crawling pass under transition. So I'm going to take one leg and I'm going to pass it under my body while I hold myself up with that opposite planted arm and leg. Then I'm going to reach back for support as I transition over. Take your time. Make sure that you don't slump into the shoulder when you're inverted, but rather pull that arm into the ground, pressing the arm into the floor when we're forward, and pressing the hand into the ground when we're inverted. Next here, we're going to go into an inverted foot hand crawl position. We're going to start by doing a movement that I like to call the Chihuahua butt slides, but really I'm reaching my hand back and extending through the knees as I lift my hips off the ground. Here, I'm reaching my hands and feet forward, pressing into the ground, lifting the hips off the ground to scoot forward and backward. If that feels comfortable, then we're going to go into an inverted foot hand crawl march. And opposite limbs are lifting off the ground. Feel that planted leg pressing into the ground and planted arm pressing into the floor. If these movements feel comfortable, then feel free to progress onto an inverted foot hand crawl. Opposite limbs are moving together. For this one, I recommend not overthinking it too much and just practicing what you used to do as a kid with a crab walk. And for our fourth movement here, we're going to do a rollover crawl transition. So this time I'm reaching that leg over the body. So instead of passing under, it's reaching over the body. I'm going to use the ground and slide my toe across the ground for support. Or I might reach high into the air as I reach that leg over. Notice that there's a delay when my hips are rotating and then my chest follows. Here I'm going to reach across my chest, rotate my chest first, and then have my hips follow there. All right, that concludes.